Yeah, so I just wanted to pop on here real quick and let Troy kind of introduce his story. Um, so, I mean, our lives got turned upside down in March of 2017. Troy had proposed to me January 1st of 2017, and then March 28th of 2017, he was diagnosed with a rare cancer in stage 4. Um, so, you know, I I have shared his story on his behalf, and my side of the story as being his caregiver. But I just thought this would be a good opportunity to allow him to share what he's gone through, because there's not very many people that we've come across that has had his type of cancer and what it's done to him physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So, I mean, what were your thoughts when we heard that diagnosis?
Well, there's nothing like going into the doctor's office and waiting on results. You had a week before from a biopsy to find out if you have cancer or what's wrong. And going into that office, I was scared and nervous, but I also knew that God has got me and everything will be okay. And the doctor came in, and I knew him from way before when he'd done surgeries on me when it was just polyps. And said, "Well, it's cancer. It's stage 4. What's it called?"
So it's actually it started in his nasal cavity, which is what makes it rare. It was squamous cell carcinoma of the nasal cavity. So what he was
That just
referring
sounds
to,
scary
yeah,
in the first place.
yeah, what he was referring to growing up, he was surrounded by smokers, and it caused him to have nasal polyps. And then 20 years down the road, those nasal polyps came as cancerous.
And it poked through my skull, and I had a big knot on, not on my forehead. I thought it was just bumps or whatever. But then he said we need to get you over to talk to a chemotherapist and an ENT and get stuff started now because I needed it. It was a very huge tumor.
Yeah. I mean, I could even post, which I might do because we've never posted it before, but might actually post the scan one of the very first scans that they did, where you can actually see the protrusion of not only through the forehead but also how it was pushing onto his left eye socket. So he did become visually impaired through this cancer fight. Uh, just to give you a broad overview of everything this man has had to go through in the past 5 years, he has had countless, I would have to get the exact amount, but he's had countless rounds of chemotherapy,
Oh, radiation,
radiation,
proton
specialized proton therapy, and surgeries. So he had a very huge surgery December of 2017, because they thought throughout the summer, they thought they had gotten it, the tumor shrunk down. The tumor did shrink, but then it gradually started coming back full force, like almost double the size. So he had to undergo a surgery that actually when they cut him open and realized how bad the tumor had started, like pushing on his skull, his eye socket, all of that. They had to, cut him this way to open his skull bone up. They had to remove some of his skull bone, his a portion of his left nostril and then his left eye. He was able to see out of the left eye, but because of how bad the tumor had been pushing on the eye socket, they were afraid if they didn't take the eye, the tumor would just keep growing again and again, to where eventually they would have to take the eye anyways. So that's just the first major surgery he had. He's had another surgery where they had to go in because of the scar tissue that the radiation caused, and they had to cut him again along this line, take more of his skull bone that time, and then a part of his brain this time. So yeah, they call that necrosis, the dead tissue bone. Just the radiation tears cancer patients up too. And go ahead.
It may be helpful and it may do a lot, but there's a lot of after effects and side effects once you're done.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we're learning that, and I'm sure it's something that the doctors warned us about, told us that it was going to be an issue, but when you're in the midst of fight or flight, like you're not sure what the outcome is going to be, you just go for it. Just do the radiation, do the chemo. But now we're dealing with the after effects. So, but we'll get into more what's happening right now a little bit later. Just wanted to give you a broad overview of what this man goes through. Not only is he in daily pain, he's been in daily pain since September of 2021. He does come help with renovations as much as his body can allow. He is out of a 10 point scale for pain. He is at a 10 or 11 every day, despite what his doctors try to give him to alleviate that pain. But he still comes over, doesn't complain, helps me as much as he possibly can. And we're rocking it out. I mean, we maybe put about 12 hours of work, 12 to 13 hours of work last week on the house, and we got one room almost completely done as far as what we can do ourselves for right now, before we get some contractors in and plumbing and all that jazz to get quotes. So what has the process been like for you the first week?
It was pretty new and exciting, getting to do stuff ourselves, saving money.
Yeah, exactly. He said saving money, because we didn't expect to have this in our budget. It is an inherited home, and we just knew that in our heads, we just knew that my grandfather was never going to pass. Like, we just had it in our heads that he was going to live forever. And lung cancer took him away from his earthly body, but he is still within all of our hearts and minds, and we feel the love every time we're in there. The house is just full of love, and we appreciate the fact that my grandfather even thought highly enough of me to leave his house to me. So
it was actually to me.
Oh, okay. All right. So see what I have to put up with? He's ornery. So thank you again for y'all that are coming on this ride with us. Thank you to our new followers, people that have been with us from day one. We do appreciate you. I'm trying to get Troy out of his comfort zone because I am usually his mouthpiece, but I think it's important for him to share because he's the one that is going through this cancer fight and journey beyond the cancer. So Thank you for tuning in, whether it's through YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We really do appreciate you. So Clueless Renovations on TikTok, all one word, YouTube, all one word, and on Instagram it's clueless_renovations, but I'll post that in the video link when we get a chance. Again, thank you so much for just tuning in and listening to our hearts and watching us just stumble through these renovations, because we have no clue what we're doing, but we are just gonna keep loving on our home until it's ready for us to move in. So do you have any lasting words?
You said it all. Just remember, I'm the beauty
and I'm the beast. So Beauty and the Beast renos. As always, Troy's the beauty and I'm the beast. Peace, y'all. Thank you.